Hey, hello, party people. It's Will Pemble. This is Patrick. The Codemaster is with us, and he is showing us what you're looking at. Is you're looking at a digital representation of the coaster that we built in the backyard. Patrick came over the other day, and he did some things that didn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. And now look at this. So what I thought would be awesome is if we can have the Codemaster kind of walk us through what that process looks like in No Limits 2. How do you get from the real world into this, which is really, really close to what the backyard looks like, except the lawn looks a lot better. Oh, well, there's parts of the lawn that don't look so great. Thank you.
Well, I'll start off with the basics. Obviously, getting the backyard to be the correct shape was a bit of a challenge, but what I found out is that on Google Earth, it stores the heights of terrain at certain places. So I basically converted that data into SketchUp through a tedious process of measuring certain points and then drawing a line from a 2D perspective, seen here, and it created this 3D representation of the backyard. And then when I went over last weekend, well, I made this special tool kind of thing which you put in the ground and it measures distance between different points. So we measured a bunch of points on the coaster, which are represented by these white lines, also as Will. And then what I did is I took that data into No Limits, and I'll just go into the editor here, and I shaped the track according to it. The white points are actually hidden at the moment because I was filming a video with it earlier. But after putting those points in, it gave me a pretty accurate representation of what was in the backyard. And the results are pretty pleasing. I'll take you guys on a long ride of it just now. There's also kind of a mock-up of the car right there. It's a bit incomplete, but one step at a time, I guess.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So here we go, this is the top. I made sure to get every little kink exactly like it is on the real thing for accuracy.
Awesome.
See as it goes down there, and it goes into the brake, and then slowly comes to a stop. And there we go. So that's basically the process of getting something in real life into No Limits.
Yep, it's just that simple. Yep, it's just that simple.
Yeah, obviously there's a lot more work to do with the scenery. Obviously there's no trees yet, besides these little bushes down here, but
okay.
At a time. Also you've got these, the beginning of the supports here, which I have to place by hand, because they're actually 3D models, which I made to look exactly like the real 2x4s used on the real thing.
How did you build the supports? How did you build the 2x4s?
Actually, I just did that in Blender again. In fact, I think my undo here, it will appear, or not, it will actually just freeze. I don't know, but yes, these are just, I just measured what 2x4 is, and I just made a 1 meter section like this, which I can just place and orient like the real thing. And I started here because this is where the supports are the simplest, because they're all kind of the same around this corner, I think.
Yeah.
So I just decided to do a couple of test ones here. I may add the nails in, but I think that's a little bit extreme. Let's just go back in here. I'll kind of do some overview shots of this, because it's just so much fun to watch. You know, just seeing the real thing and seeing it in here. Like I've stood up here, and I can confirm that it looks the same, like that.
Yep.
Down it goes. I do need to add a bit of rattle to the train, because I noticed it kind of likes to wiggle around a bit, so I may add some of that. Just depends.
Yeah, I was gonna say your ride is a little bit smoother than mine so far.
I also need to add the chain and other details like that, but again, one thing at a time.
That's so fantastic.
But yeah, with this, hopefully you'll be able to prototype some other things you might want to do with it.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things, guys, that Patrick and I were talking about was right kind of at the end of the thing, or somewhere. We got a pretty fair-sized yard, and we have a fair bit of kinetic and potential energy we can play with. So we started thinking of maybe a loop, maybe a barrel roll, and my challenge to the Codemaster was, if you can build it in No Limits and show us how it can work and what the forces are going to be like on the track, and give me a much better idea of just how we could build the thing, I think maybe we just go ahead and build it.
I think it's perfectly possible to do some sort of inversion. I'll have to prototype that with this.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the barrel roll myself. You know, loops are splashy and spectacular and all of that, but once upon a time I was a pilot and a flight instructor, and as a pilot I love a barrel roll, and I really don't care so much about a loop. It's not a natural or beautiful thing. You're really fighting a whole lot. You know, you're kind of like forcing nature to do what you want with a loop, but with a barrel roll, it's a cooperation with physics, and so I'm a big fan of the barrel roll. Well, Patrick, this is awesome, man. I can't wait to like ride the digital coaster when it's all said and done, and I really can't wait to see the barrel roll ideas. This is absolutely awesome. So
another kind of fun thing about this, actually, before we end off, is that since we're doing this in No Limits, it will actually be possible to ride this in VR. So if anyone out there has VR and they want to try the coaster, then they might be able to download this and give it a go.
Oh, that was so cool. That's fantastic. Go subscribe to Codemaster's channel, youtube.com/TheCodemaster, one word. Patrick, thanks, mate. I cannot wait to see the next version of this.
I'm excited to see where it goes as well.
Yeah, outstanding. All right, thank you for helping me bring physics, telling funny kids everywhere. I'm Will Pemble. That is Patrick, the Codemaster. We'll see you soon.